An Indian Army column on the India-Myanmar border came under fire this morning. The time was about 4:45. The Indian Army readily retaliated. It is now understood the NSCNK terrorists were behind the attack. The Indian Army suffered no injuries or casualties. The terrorists, though, reiterated they suffered heavy losses. Wion has learned the operation took place in the Mon district of Nagaland along the India-Myanmar border. And I'm joined live right now from the national desk by my colleague and senior correspondent Raghavendra Rao. Raghavendra, thank you for joining me. What more details can you give us on this story?
Daniele, the operation was conducted around 4:45 a.m. Today morning in the wee hours. A patrol party of the Indian Army, they came under fire from these insurgents belonging to the NSCNK, who had ostensibly infiltrated from the Myanmarese side into the Indian territory. Once the Indian patrol party came under fire, they retaliated heavily, and in that retaliation, they inflicted major damage to these people who were trying to infiltrate into Indian territory. These are Naga insurgents who have been creating a lot of unrest in that particular area. We have had several instances of many of these terrorists sneaking into India from the Myanmarese side, conducting their terror operations and then running back to the Myanmarese side. In 2015, we had one of the instances where the Indian Army had retaliated in a similar fashion. At that time, although the official army position was that the Indian side had conducted operations right along the border, but later on some of the ministers in the central government had come out saying that the Indian troops had actually crossed over the border and gone right into the Myanmarese territory to destroy some of these launch pads of these insurgent groups. But in today's case, the government and the sources in the government establishment have made it evidently clear that this was not a surgical strike. No cross-border movement of the Indian troops took place. This was an operation limited to the Indian side of the border, and this happened right along the India-Myanmar border, and no Indian troops crossed over to the Myanmar side.
Right, and Raghavendra, what are these insurgents requesting? Why are they fighting against the Indian state?
Well, it's a decades-old insurgency that has raged on in the northeast. We've had several insurgencies in several northeastern states. The Nagas in the state of Nagaland, they are fighting for a separate state of Nagaland. They have been, engaging in violence. They've been engaging in subversive activities. Essentially, they are looking to establish a separate state of their own. And there have been insurgent groups who started as one group, then they had several divisions within them, and then several splinter groups emerged. So now this particular group is the NSCNK, which belongs to the Khaplang faction of the NSCN. Essentially, these people are looking to set up an independent sovereign state of their own in the state of Nagaland.